Our next session brings that same spirit of discovery into this world of customer engagement. Now, as AI transforms how people discover our brands, make decisions, and build loyalty, organizations have an opportunity to move beyond broad audiences and create experiences that are truly designed for each individual customer. In Built for One, how AI is redefining customer engagement and loyalty, we'll hear how AI is reshaping the future of personalization and how brands are putting these capabilities into practice today. Please join me in welcoming Ryan Fleisch, Senior Director of Product Marketing at Adobe, and Gaurav Masal, Senior Manager of Digital Activation at Southwest Airlines.
That is a tough act to follow. I thought we had a pretty exciting presentation here, but I've got nothing about machetes, nothing about mummies. I've never broken a leg setting up customer experience orchestration, but we're going to try. So this is called Built for One, how AI is redefining customer engagement and loyalty. You're going to hear from me. I lead product marketing for Adobe's Experience Platform, and really excited for you to hear directly from Gaurav at Southwest, how they're bringing this vision to life. So you just heard a lot about our origin story. And when we fast forward now, we are unique. We are one of 8.3 billion people walking the earth. And to get to a size of 1, when we think about audience targeting, is no small feat. Just for a room this size, statistically it would take me 29 different attributes before I was able to get to an audience of 1. Things like where you live, the industry that you work in, gender, age. And this just scratches the surface, even if we get this right, around who all of us really are. To understand that, we need to know the context, the intent, the interests. And to do that, this is the number we're dealing with. 2.5 quintillion bytes of data that all of us are generating every single day. These are the breadcrumbs that we leave behind. The searches, the video views, the impressions, the clicks, all of the things that might tell a brand who we are in that moment and what context is going to resonate best with us. But this is an overwhelming amount of data to keep up with. IDC estimates that just in the 4-year period that we are in, the global data sphere, how much data is out there, is going to grow 147%. And so all else equal, we just can't keep up with that in terms of human capacity. And really, this isn't a problem with data, it's a problem with customer understanding. Because if we need to understand, deeply understand those that we're marketing to and our consumers that are changing minute to minute, we have to have a better way to do this. Now, if we flip this problem around, that's our problem as marketers and professionals, but from a consumer lens, in a city like New York here, we are all exposed to an average of 5,000 messages from brands every single day. That's just an overwhelming amount. In fact, if you remembered everything that you heard from brands, in just 1 year, you would use over half of your brain's entire capacity. So next time you forget your anniversary, just tell your significant other that you got targeted with too many brand messages. I'm totally sure they're going to understand that. And when we think of what that does to all of us, we are constantly in a state of filtering out messages that aren't relevant. In fact, we only spend 400 milliseconds, according to the AMA, deciding when we see something from a brand, is that relevant enough for me to engage with it? Or am I just going to let it flow by with the other 4,999 messages I saw that day? And the challenge of getting this wrong is not just wasting an ad budget or wasting emails or wasting something on your channels, it's also the reputational damage that it can cause to the brand if the consumers are viewing this as irritating or irrelevant. But this is where AI comes in and helps us with this deluge of data, this ever-growing gap between the amount of data and our capacity and really understanding our customers. We can think of this as not just understanding what people have done, but also using it for predictive outcomes of what they intend to do and what's going to resonate best with them across an ever-growing number of channels. And while this has always been challenging and continues to get more challenging, to make it even harder, consumer expectations are constantly on the rise, and what might be aspirational to us is simply viewed as the baseline for relevancy for them. They look at the best experiences they've gotten from brands, and they view that as the new normal, and expect everything else to have that one-to-one, built-for-one audience and personalization associated with them. So not only do we have to do this across a host of different channels that all have their own nuances to them, but these channels are also getting a lot more complex. Before, we could just think about this in terms of clicks and email opens and impressions. This was structured data that wasn't that hard to really understand and build. But now, we think about the way that consumers are engaging with brands across these channels, it is much more conversational. In a world of agentic AI and LLMs, people are able to use natural language to describe what they want, what they're looking for, and that presents new challenges, but also new opportunities for all of us. Now we're looking at unstructured, conversational data, trying to derive what the intent is from that and figure out what that next best personalization is going to be. The good news, and maybe not so groundbreaking of a stat, but 80% of brands say that these breakthrough customer experiences mean anticipating those customer needs in real time, but the opportunity for all of us is not that many brands are truly achieving that today. And the gap there is the foundation of which all of this is built on. While there'll always be new tools and new ways to do things on how customer engagement can look, this foundation needs to be solid, and we'll talk more about that in just a second. But ultimately what this means is looking at all of these different signals, deriving what that meaning is, and using all of that for action. This is what we mean when we refer to customer experience orchestration. And it's less about managing more and more tools to keep up with these channels, and more about thinking about the foundation that can span across all of these, that allows us to be the quarterback, but have AI be our coworker to help orchestrate this. And we can think about these through three pillars: AI-powered content, action-ready data, and intelligent orchestration. Now, if you have the right foundation across all three of these, your goal might look something like create an omni-channel campaign that's inbound via web, outbound via email, and targets my high-value customers with their next best product. But in order to do that, there is a whole host of capabilities needed at the foundation for AI to really be effective here. That might look like the governance that goes into creating this content. That might look like the agentic workflows that can supercharge your human capacity and your ability to do more at scale. That's the long-term memory and the understanding of your corporate goals and your brand context so that these recommendations can be relevant and compliant. So that's the vision. That's what we're looking to achieve here. But to hear about how Southwest is bringing that to life, I'm going to welcome up Gaurav to share that with us.
Hello, New York. What a fantastic day it's been. Such great topics from such incredible thought leaders. This is why I love Think Summit. Soon we'll be at the after party, and I'm sure everyone will be talking about their favorite session. To make it super simple for you guys to remember, I have a trick, a tip for you. All you have to say is, I want more of Gaurav. And Ryan, of course. This week is a special one for us at Southwest. Southwest turns 55 this Thursday on June 18th. That's right. Love has been part of our DNA since day one. We believe you cannot truly serve your customer unless you truly love them, which is why we put love in everything. Our home airport is called Dallas Love Field. Our ticker is LOVE, L-U-V, and our logo is a heart. And to celebrate these 55 years of love, we're all going to sing happy birthday. Ready? Just kidding. How about you hold up hearts and I'll take a selfie, yeah? All right. All right, say Southwest. Thank you for that. Now, 55 years of love doesn't happen by chance. It starts with a belief. The late Colleen Barrett, our Queen of Hearts, once said, "We're in the customer service business. We just happen to provide airline transportation." For 55 years, that belief has led all our decisions. It's the question we ask ourselves in everything we do, in operations, in customer care, in how we show up for our people. How do you deliver that same warmth, that same genuine personal care at every touch point? And now, we're asking it in our digital experience too. Southwest touches its customers through multiple digital channels: email, web, push, SMS, apps. This is our digital ecosystem. Every touch point, every channel working together with the customer at its center. And within this digital ecosystem, email is a pretty significant channel. Big shout out to some of the email teams sitting over here and some remote. And that's exactly, email channel is the channel that provides us with an opportunity to truly talk to our customers one-to-one personally. And that's what I want to talk about today. Over the years, we've built personalization into our email digital channel, and what we've learned is very powerful. The trending destination email is personalized based on our customer's home airport. It shows them where other customers similar to them are traveling to, and we share price points. And our customers noticed. We saw a 9% increase in our click-through rate. A different type of email where we celebrate our customers. It's not about sale. It's about celebrating our customers and building their journey with Southwest and celebrating their journey with Southwest. Here we show them how many miles they've flown, how many Rapid Reward points they've earned, and what destination they've traveled to the most. Two different emails, two different goals, but the same lesson. When you know your customers, they notice. And that's why we're taking it to the next level. We want to build true one-to-one personalization in our email channel. We've always known what one-to-one personalization looks like. The vision's always been there, but there have been challenges. Think about this like the Lord of the Rings. J.R.R. Tolkien wrote the books in the 1950s. However, the vision was there. However, the technology to bring that vision, that world, those characters to life on the silver screen didn't exist for another 50 years. In personalization, we're living that gap. The vision was there, the desire was there, but the tools to deliver personalization at the speed and at scale that our customers deserve, those were missing, until now. This is where it really gets exciting. AI has given us tools to finally start closing that gap. For the first time, we can begin to deliver personalization at the scale our customers deserve. So how do we make this happen? The answer starts with recognizing that our customers aren't one-dimensional. And this is across all industries. Think about one of our customers. On the weekend, she's traveling to Sonoma to spend the weekend with her friends and enjoy wine country. Next month, she's traveling on a business trip to Chicago. And at the same time, she's planning a family vacation to some place where they all love. Same person, completely different mindsets. Each of these requires a different message, a different context that resonates with the customer. So how do we get this? How do we bring this to life? It starts with three things working together. First is signals. Signals is when a customer interacts with Southwest through our digital channels, through our customer care. They tell us something every time they reach out. Next is meaning. Signals alone aren't enough. We have to understand what those signals are telling us. we have to translate that into meaning. We have to understand what the customer is thinking right now and what are their needs in the moment. Once we understand this, we have to take the right action. We have to reach out to the customer with the right message that they're looking for right now. So let's take a look at how we can take this framework and implement it through different capabilities. For signals, we may use customer data platform. This is where we build a unified view of all our customers, a single unified view, so we know how the customer interacts with Southwest, what their history has been. Next, we have to take these signals and we have to orchestrate them into a potential journey using journey orchestration. So this is about delivering the right message to the right customer at the right time. And finally, real-time AI personalization. This isn't about using AI to send email messages. This is about using AI to send the right level of personalization that the customer wants to see when they open their email. So 3 capabilities working seamlessly to deliver a true personal customer experience. So let's take a look at what this could look like in real life. So going back to our customer who is planning that family trip, she may see an email from Getaways by Southwest, and she may be greeted by a family vacation package in Orlando. She may see a hotel package that sleeps the whole family and a rental car offer that has enough room for the whole family and the luggage. And a similar family who might be traveling to Orlando could see a completely different message based on their preferences, their needs, their history with Southwest. So that's the power of personalization. Same send, completely different experience. That's the power of knowing your customer. And at this point, I'd like to welcome Ryan back onto the stage.
Nicely done, Gaurav. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that vision. So, while we're both up here, let's play Complete the Sentence here. You just shared an amazing story about where you've been, where you're going, but let's look 5 years down the road. So 5 years from now, Southwest will know its customers well enough to.
That's a great question. My hope is over the next 5 years, we know our customers so well that they're no longer browsing and filtering, they're just choosing. So think about, you receive an email. We're providing you with 3 curated vacation packages that are completely catered to you. So we want to take the stress out of shopping and get you as quickly as possible on your next vacation.
I love it. Well, thank you. As a native Texan myself and resident of Dallas, I've always had just incredible experiences on Southwest, so thank you for powering that. So team, 3 questions that we can use to jumpstart our brainstorming sessions with our teams as we go back to our work. The first is, do you know what your customers actually intend or only what they did? One is around breadcrumbs, one is around the data that we've had access to through that structured data on channels we talked about. But the next frontier is how are we using AI to really predict what that next best experience is going to look like, and really understanding, as Gaurav mentioned, who that person is in that moment and what they're looking for. The second is, are your data, your orchestration, and your content actually working together in harmony or just in sequence? I think we've all seen a million marketing diagrams of here's a bunch of data sources into a person, out to a bunch of channels. That's a very linear path. What we're talking about here is a continuous intelligence feedback loop where the data should inform what the next best offer should be, help generate that content, and help put that into the right place in that journey. And third is, are you building the foundation for what's next while running what works today? This foundation that we talked about before, this includes the business context, the goals, the governance, and the long-term memory, and all of the agentic workflows that you need to really carry this out. If you can get those 3 things right, then the brands, all of you, that build your foundation on customer understanding and intelligent engagement are those who will win in the era of AI. Thank you so much for the time today.